So in this video today, I'm going to introduce you to the world, if you don't know it already, of fifths, passing chords in relation to fifths. Now, Jacob Collier's song Hideaway is quite a subtle song in terms of this element that I'm going to show you. I'm going to be looking at the last verse. It's quite subtle how he uses this, but it's really creative and really applicable. That's the most important thing that I think will really help you, especially if you're a beginner in terms of understanding passing chords. This is a really good song to kind of help you. So we're going to be in the key of E. And remember, we're looking at passing chords. That's the main premise of what we're looking at here. The passing chords in relation to Jacob Collier's use of fifths. Yeah, so passing chords utilizing fifths. So the song goes like this. So at the last verse, it goes like this. Let me fill the sky and fill the moon. Let me sing an honest tune to my hideaway, hideaway. And then he does, trust in wherever I go wandering, I'll find a home in everything, in my hideaway. So I'll sing it one more time and I'll show you what's happening here. So we have chord 1, so in relation to the E major scale, we have chord 1. So let me fill the sky and fill, so that's chord 4, the moon. Let me sing an honest tune. So we have chord 6 going down to our F sharp minor. So C sharp minor going down to this F sharp minor. Now at that point, you've got a fifth relationship. So you've got this chord first, which transitions to F sharp minor. Now F sharp minor is, I would see this as our destination. So fifth away in terms of this F sharp minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be that C sharp. So you've got a fifth relationship happening quite subtly. So I'll play it one more time. So let me fill the sky and fill the moon. Let me sing an honest tune. So you've got this kind of bouncing relationship, 5-1, 5-1 in the context of this F sharp minor. Cool. To my hideaway, to my hideaway. And then he does this. And then trust in, so that kind of, ultimately this line, we're looking at like a B minor, like a minor 9. Ultimately it's a B minor chord, which is interesting. In the context of E major, you normally expect that D sharp, but he's actually flattened it to the D. And he's used that as a passing chord to come back home. That's quite interesting, because I've heard Jacob use often this kind of sus approach, which would have worked very well. Think about it. So, let me fill the sky and fill the moon. Let me sing an honest tune to my hideaway. He could have done this. Trust in, but no, he's got this. Yeah, and I really like that. You wouldn't expect that D natural to be in there, but it is. Yeah, so in context one more time. So let me fill the sky and fill the moon. Let me sing a 6 to the 2, that 5-5-1 to my hideaway. And then we've got the 5 in a minor context. Coming back to trust in, so chord 1. Wherever I go wandering, wonderful, I'll find a home in everything. Very simple chords, but we're utilizing once again 5. So before we had our C sharp, which is the 5 of the F sharp, but now Jacob employs a G sharp minor chord before the C sharp. So that's a fifth, because if we think about C sharp as our being our destination, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That G sharp represents the 5. So we've got this 5 of this chord, and then this chord of C sharp minor represents the 5 of our F sharp, which ultimately is where we're going to land on. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. So let me give you that again. So we've got this. Trust in wherever I go wandering. So that was just a 4-1, which you had before. I'll find a home in passing land. In my hide. Actually, then he goes, in my hideaway. Like, how subtle but beautiful is that? We've got this idea of playing, in the context of E major, playing the respective 5 note, so away from our destination. So for example, if we're going to F sharp minor, we're playing this C sharp as a minor. We're not changing it. Typically if you're going to go to a G sharp, F sharp minor chord, you'd probably think more so in terms of the harmonic minor scale. So that C sharp would probably normally be like or typically, I wouldn't say normally, typically it would be a major. But he's keeping it minor in the context of E, but we're still thinking about this C sharp as being the 5 away from the F sharp. That's fine. But then we have this idea going to the 5 of E in the middle. In my hideaway, we're playing it as a minor, so breaking the rule of the major scale of that D sharp. We're going, and they do that line, but implying, the B minor. That's really cool. That's really, really, really cool. And definitely something that you can, take away and utilize quite quickly in terms of making chord progressions sound even more interesting, utilizing this idea of a 5th away. And how can I forget as well, we had a bit of like a building of a 5 of a 5, and what I mean by that, so rather than just having the 5 to here, Jacob in the second verse went, okay, the 5 of the C sharp, which is going to be that G sharp, so he included the 5 going to the 1 in this context, then the 5 going to the 1 in this context. So very creative. So altogether it goes a little something like this, nice and slow. So let me fill the sky and fill the moon. Let me sing an honest tune. That's 5 to 1 in that context of F sharp minor. To my hideaway. And then we've got this 5 minor 5 going to our trust in chord 1. Wherever I go wandering, I'll find a home. Okay, now we got our 5 to this chord, and this chord represents the 5 going to this chord. Yeah, in my hideaway. So you don't just want to be limited in this particular key of E. No, let's use this as a creative task. So let's go to the key of F. So can we essentially challenge ourselves? And if you're new to this will really be a good exercise to be able to work on. And just in general, in terms of playing chord progressions, it's good to be able to test your knowledge in other keys. Can you apply those chords that you've learned in one key to another? And ideally in terms of all 12. So let's look at this chord progression. So we have the key of F now. So we're in the key of F. Let me just transition here. So in the key of F, we have this major scale. All right, so let me fill the sky and so chord 4, fill the moon. Let me sing a 6 to our 2, so that's our 5 of our G minor, to my hideaway, and then we're gonna have this minor 5 right there. You can think about it like that. So minor C as a passing chord to come back to trust in wherever I go wandering. Get a bit high for me. I'll find a home in. Okay, so now we're going to be playing this chord, that chord, and then this chord. Why? Well, before we had just this chord going down to here, but now we're going to be thinking about, okay, if we're going to be going to that D minor, what is the 5 away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A minor. Passing, yeah. In my hideaway. So I'll do it one more time from the top. So in my hideaway. That minor 5 is coming up right here. And let's see if we can do that line. I think it was like something like what was it in the is it that? Let's see, 5, 6, so it would be, that's what it was. Yeah, so in that context, I was thinking, okay, in the moment, what was it in relation to E? And I was thinking more so in terms of numbers. So in the key of E, that line was, so 5, 6, 1, 2 in terms of the major scale notes, 5, 6, 1, 2, flat 7, going down to the 6. 5, 6, 1, 2, flat 7. So in the context of F, this is why it's really important to know your major scale. So 5, 6, 1, 2, flat 7, 6. Yeah, so let's do it one more time. So, and this is a good process to go through in terms of working this out, because you don't just want to be limited to playing these ideas, you know, in one key. You want to be able to play this all over the keyboard. So this will be of great benefit to you in terms of going systematically through the keys and being able to play this. So right here, so let me fill the sky and fill the moon, and let me sing an honest tune to my hideaway. Okay, that line will be right here. So trust in wherever I go wandering. Passing here, I'll find a home in passing. Beautiful. In my hideaway. Alright, same idea in the key of G. Can we do it? Of course we can. So here we go. In this key, it would be like here. Let me, I have to sing this down the octave. Fill the sky and fill the moon, and let me sing an honest tune to my hideaway. Okay, so this line, so 5, 6 would be, yeah, trust in. So I was thinking, same idea from E, 5, 6, 1, 2, flat 7, 6, and I'm only able to do that quickly because I know my major scales. Yeah, like second nature. All right, so trust in wherever I go wandering. So we've got these passing chords. I'll find a home in everything. Yep, in my hideaway. There it is. So as you can see, we've taken one idea from Jacob Collier, utilizing this idea of fifths as passing chords, but also we've turned it into a practice exercise. And I would encourage you to do this just in generally when you're working out chord progressions. You know, challenge yourself. Can you play it in all 12 keys? Because it will really help build your foundation in terms of your harmonic knowledge. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. Bye for now.